Now, I've linked this up with another very interesting man, a guy called Sir Richard Layard, and he is Professor of Sociology at the LSE, who's, I have to laughingly say this, he was technically New Labour's Minister for Happiness, or their Happiness Czar. This is completely true, I'm not making this up. He did give a lot of advice to the government. And actually, probably surprisingly interesting, because when you get politics, which isn't about the right and left wing, it's about management and about organisation, trying to do things right, you have to measure it by whether it affects people happily or unhappily, or it's not about politics as such anymore, it's about human behaviour. So he did this chart, and I've taken this out of his book, and the book's called Happiness, it's very readable, and people are, you can see at different times of day, people have different levels of happiness. And the thing that I really loved about this was, when are people happiest? In the evenings, when they're sociable, when they're at home, and possibly when they're in their kitchen. I put this in for you, you can look at this list, I'm not going to read it out, but this is his analysis of what activity makes people, well, on a measurement scale, what makes people happier. And I like quite a lot of this because quite a lot of them take place in the kitchen, and I'm not going to say which ones. So what I came to realise that this deconstructed house is about two different things. It's about sociability and sanctuary. Because when you take the walls away, what do you have left? So I started exploring this idea of using sociability in kitchens. And I'm just showing you a picture of a kitchen you get in Bath on two different times of day. And how the space is flexible for that. And interestingly enough, lighting helped us out a lot, because with open plan spaces in the evening, as we all know, you can make them more intimate by clever lighting. And that's the same kitchen in daytime. I also was studying the work of a Japanese writer who wrote in the 50s. This rather wonderful book called In Praise of Shadows. And this is really a reminder to talk to you about the importance of shadows and not over-lighting. And if you have time, and maybe some of you have already been to our stand, our idea of this modern cottage kitchen, which is what we're playing with at the moment, is partly about a much calmer environment, going back to what I was saying about the core requirements for happiness and brain sort of stimulus, and it is about what John Sizer was saying, it's about giving us calm and friendly moods when we need them.